What's going on, people? Welcome to the live stream for the Michigan Junior Arena. That little intro that you've seen was our upcoming interview that will be coming out later on today with Kalman Vanderhook. That is Wolf 2008, player from the Bloomfield Bishops, who are undefeated right now, 2-0 in the classical portion of our team league, our league there. And nice interview that I will be posting that soon. Now let's get to the games. Something's going on. So number one right now is Paige Orange. She's won the under 1200 twice. She beat Gogo Stello and Spark. She lost to Wolf 2008, but then wins against Spark 101. So she's played Spark 101 twice. And she's leading the tournament now with 9 points. Paige, keep it up. And Spark 101, this is very early. Is third place as well. Let's see here. We got Hell's Bishop is Mikhail Garland from Cass Tech, and he hasn't played any games here yet, so maybe I don't know if he's still with us or not, but he has not played. Resident Donkey is, I guess he's just watching. I don't see him there. I think I see him as a spectator, and he is just watching there. All right, so let's give a shout out to everybody that is here. And everyone who's joining us on the live stream, welcome. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put it in the comments and chat. Now, let's give a shout out. The tournament has 22 participants today. We got Wolf 2008, Paige Orange, Spark 101, SME 8N, CPR Chess, Shooty 7212, Scott Lightyear, DDoS 10, DDoS 9, Grizzly 2011, Jackie Element, Gogo Stello, Super Samrat, Hell Bishop, WJH 3122, Taste the Pace, Strange Ball, Full Empty Pajamas, Little Almond, and Cool Peaceful Arrow, Top Madhouse, and New Festive Chaos. New Festive Chaos here on the Michigan Junior Arena. And those of you guys who are on the live stream, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, and share if you can. I do this sporadically. Have a little more time during the week because beginning of the week I have to prepare for or finish the standings. So in our Michigan Junior Team Arena, the standings are now posted. We have 3 undefeated teams in the classical section. I believe it's Ann Arbor Advantage, Farmington Forks, and the Bloomfield Bishops. And we have an interview that's coming real soon with Wolf 2008. That was the promo that you guys seen on the beginning of the stream. All right, so let's get into the top game. We have Super Samrat versus DDoS. That ended. So Super Samrat looks like he gets the win there. Wolf 2008 versus Paige Orange. And Paige has lost a couple pieces here, so that is a big rating difference there. Let's look at Scott Lightyear versus CPR Chess. This is an interesting matchup here. So it looks like Scott Lightyear played a London system here. Well, not quite. It was like a Queen's Gambit. And Lightyear looks pretty good. He has good control over the center. He has this pawn chain right here. And if you look at the pieces that he has, the board is really telling him the queen side is where it's at. For instance, like knight a4 to b6. This bishop is an active piece. Now, after b6, I'm wondering if it might be a point to go knight a4 and then knight c5, or knight a4 goes queen b3 instead. I don't know if I like that move. Maybe bishop c2 or rook h or f to b8. Oh, I'm sorry, can't play f to b8 because the bishop. Oh, he plays it anyway. He loses the rook to the bishop. Charlie did something that I was actually thinking. Not over, because there is the bishop here on the board, and so black is going to have some pressure. Even though he's down that exchange, I don't believe that this is a clear win for white in this position. Maybe he should give himself a luft. I don't like the fact that he's going to get pinned here with bishop to f8. That won't hurt him right now because he can go king g7, and the bishop is okay on his diagonal. But he has to do that quickly because rook b1 is coming, and then rook to b8, where you're going to pin that bishop. Oh wow, and this bishop here is running out of squares, so that was actually a pretty good move. Maybe he could play knight to e4 is the move here. Knight to e4. That he takes, though. He could have played knight e4, attacking the knight more times to protect. And if knight takes, you take the rook right away. And then you're able to take with the bishop. And you should be okay there. I hear he should not trade. Maybe rook to a2. Yep. And then after knight c5, you have e5 here. Okay. And then e5, and then just trade the e pawn for the d pawn, and you give yourself a target on d4. e5, the bishop is attacking the rook. So CPR chess is actually, sorry, Scott Lightyear is up in exchange and a knight in this position. Down a little time, but still a lot of time to finish the position. So Scott Lightyear should be able to convert this win here. Shouldn't be that hard. Those bishops are working. You got to watch it. So let's go to another game. So I'm anticipating there's going to be a rook to c7, and then rook a1, king h2. Yep. All right, so let's go to another game. That is number 10 versus number 7, Charlie Reese versus Scott Escarrera from Illinois. He's from Illinois. He plays on what team is he on here? He's on the Franklin Fried Liver free agent team. Franklin Fried Liver. Let's go to Wolf 2008 versus WJH 3122. This is Wallace Harris. And he's on the Farmington Forks, who are undefeated, actually. And we look at Wolf 2008. It is all about this bishop on this long diagonal. He's going to want to play b5 and march the pawns on this side of the board and attack this way. Looks like this was a dragon Sicilian, unless it was a, yeah, yes it was. It was a dragon and Sicilian, even though he didn't play d4. Okay. Okay, now it looks like he's gonna try to play for d5 here. So I'm anticipating f4. And maybe f5 is a moment to sacrifice, actually. h4. So probably h6 here. Discarding the knight. Knight has to go back to f3. I actually think knight d4 is also interesting here, because this bishop on, getting rid of this bishop on e3 might be beneficial for black. So knight d4 would be a strong knight in the center of the board. He plays h6. I can't imagine if he goes knight h3. He could try this. Knight h3 and queen d2, which aims at this pawn on h6, but instead there is some trades. Oh, I see. He wins a pawn on h4. Now the h pawn, that's not a big pawn to win, but it is a pawn. Now the threat is knight f4, knight d4. Black is much better here, but black is down almost 2 minutes in time. The rook e1, anticipating knight to e5. Or f5. No, well, f5 is possible, but knight e5 makes more sense. Attacking a piece of greater value here. The queen has to move away. Now, does he want to trade here, queen g3? I don't think so. I think black will be winning this position. Not only is he up a pawn, but he will have these targets of these two double pawns here on the g file, and a nice home for the queen on g4. He's threatening to trade here after queen takes f4, bishop takes f4 is a much better way to trade. So black does trade up a pawn, but he only has 53 seconds to 3 minutes. Now this is the time that WJH has to relax and try to find the best moves. Seeing that he has the most time, he has to use his time advantage. It is an advantage. You get to think about the best moves your brain can imagine when you have so much time, where it's impossible for black to find those really good moves, the best moves, with only 44 seconds left. For instance, like this was a blunder with bishop takes d6. Now he had to make a quick move, too quick, but then now you have bishop takes c5. And I like how WJH is taking his time. I mean, like, look at 2 minutes and 41 seconds, 38 seconds. WJH is playing a really good game here. Now the question is, should we trade here? Probably should, because we don't want to keep the bishop and allow knight takes c2, like bishop c4, knight takes c2. So we don't want that. So he does trade, but he takes his time and thinks about it. So this is a really good strategy for WJH. Now it's the bishop pair on the board. Right now, the bishop on c8 is not a good piece. So if I was white, I would make sure that this bishop doesn't get to any good squares. Now it's 6 pawns versus 7 pawns. So black went from being up a pawn to down a pawn here, mainly because the time pressure and the decisions that black had to make in time pressure. Now the career record in these games is very lopsided. So WJH has not won a game. He's drawn one. And Wolf 2008 has won 5.5 of those games. And there could be some berserks there. I don't know. Was this a berserk game? It could have been. I'm not sure. So this is the most important time, because a lot of times we'll see our opponent make instant moves, and then we'll make an instant move just out of habit. But look how he's thinking. He's really thinking here. Knight e2, dislodging the bishop, bringing the knight. Now he could play something like f4 or even g4, kind of pawn freezing there. He's looking at the weak squares here. Now here he could play a4, stopping a4 himself. Because if a4 is allowed, then the bishop has to go to c2, then a rook takes on c2. So don't want that. So he's trying to figure this out, but he has time. 1 minute left. He plays bishop a2 and gives up the c2 pawn, and that wasn't the best decision. So I think maybe now, if he takes his time, he could play rook e2, which takes away this rook, kicks the rook off of the second rank. But he plays rook, and he allows the check here, and things are turning for the worst. Now, and he actually, okay, and he gives up this pawn. Things are not looking as good here. Knight e2. Maybe you can't allow him to have 2 rooks on the second rank. So you got to battle for this file. Rook c1, good job. And now maybe bishop e3 is coming. Okay, he trades. Bishop e3. I don't know about that. Looks like you're looking at a checkmate. He has to move his king over to f1 to avoid the checkmate. There he goes. He got it. And I actually think that, now look at this. Now he probably b4, protects the a2 bishop. There's a take there. There's going to be a check coming. Watch the bishop here. Maybe king. Okay. All right. He can take the rook now. The Cal doesn't have the increment. He doesn't have the increment here. Maybe bishop back. But WJH has the increment here. Oh, and he takes that there. That was a big capture. He has the increment. There's 9 seconds, 4 seconds left. Bishop takes b5. Oh, he doesn't take it. Cal doesn't have the increment. Now, as long as this pawn here is on the white square, all he has to do is just move, and he's going to win this game. This is going to be a big win for WJH over Wolf 2008, but I do believe it was a berserk game. Now, you don't want to repeat the position in the same, and what happened here? Oh, okay, so WJH wins the game on time in the opposite bishop endgame, and that would be a draw. But with the time that low as it is, Cal just didn't have enough time, and he loses that game. What a good game for WJH right there. Using his time wisely. When you get berserked, that's a perfect example of what to do when you are berserked. All right, so Super Samrat is #1. He has 18 points. Shooty 7212 won yesterday's tournament with 35 total points. He has 16 and he's on fire. Let's see his route. He lost to Wolf, but he beat Spark, Lightyear, SME8, Strange Bolt, and now playing DDoS. So he has a good plate of opponents for Berserk. And Super Samrat, on the other hand, he beat CPR Chess, but lost to Spark one-on-one. Was that on purpose? I'm not sure. Maybe his internet connection. And he lost to Gogo Stello with the mate in the face. The elementary mate. Wow, what a big victory for Gogo Stello here. He caught him by surprise with this. We gotta look what happened. Gogo Stello is 1100 and beat Super Samrat. Samrat Castles right in the checkmate. You rarely see that happen with strong players, but it happened there for Super Samrat. Gogo Stello gets a big victory there. And then he went on to tear. He beat DDoS 9, Spark 101. Gogo Stello, he beat him on the rematch and then SME8N. So all berserks, and now he's playing Scott Light here. Wolf 2008 is on the first page. Page Orange, still on the first page. Scott Lightyear, Spark 101, SME8N. Gogo Stello is on the first page. WJH 3122 and CPR Chess, Charlie Reese from Holland. All right, so let's look at the top games. Super Samrat versus Resident Donkey is actually started to play here. I don't know where he's been, but he's playing now. Super Samrat playing Scott Lightyear. Let's take a look at that. Scott Lightyear is Scott Esperera from Illinois. And if we look at this game here, Scott Lightyear has the bishop pair, 6 pawns, and there is a extra pawn for white. Now these extra pawns are not so great here. There's a backward c3 pawn and an isolated a3 pawn. Looks like he just gives up a pawn here. Maybe his plan is, yeah, but his plan looks like it might be just to double the rooks on the a file and grab the a3 pawn back. So I don't believe that's going to hurt Scott Light here that much. For instance, like bishop d7 is a good move to play now, or just, yeah, bishop d7, excellent move. And after take, you take with the king and double the rooks, and you should be able to win this pawn here. So that was good strategy. Scott Lightyear has over 2 minutes advantage here. And I think this is another berserk game for Super Samurai. And it's hard to berserk someone that's 1642. So this is going to come down to who's going to be, you know, look at, okay. The one thing I don't like about this move is he didn't control the square in front of the pawn like he should have. But he does have b4. So after a5, you have b4. And that should win you one of the pawns. So you should be able to trade this pawn off and then win the a3 pawn. And you're going to be down 1 pawn, but you want to keep the rook if you want to. You really want to keep the rook if you want to draw. So yes, I would take this pawn with the rook and trade this and take this pawn too, and just live to fight another day with a draw. I am down a pawn. Even though Scott Lightyear, he is definitely up time. And he does that. So here, this is a drawn position, but with this time advantage, you never know. He's doing a good job by not allowing the rook any entry points. Maybe you want to play this move h5, threatening h4, where you can kind of split his pawns a little bit. Okay, so that makes sense. Maybe king d6 is going to be the play, and maybe rook to c8, trying to get behind the pawns. Okay, he didn't do that. So now I would play h5 and h4. Because of course, king takes h4. We trade a wing pawn for a centralized pawn. So he just tries to prevent the check. So it looks like he's okay with the draw here. But he has Black can play a couple solid moves to really put pressure on Super Samurai clock. It looks like Super Samurai is getting an increment. He just took a long time in this game, looks like. Or maybe I'm wrong. I thought I seen him with an increment. So this pawn here on d5 should be protected by the king and not the rook. So your rook have better things to do than this. King e6 should be the move, and if he checks you, just go back. King e6, if he checks you, then go back. Now here, we should really activate this rook here. Bringing the rook to c7 and going back to c2. He just goes and stops the check. Maybe rook to c6 now. All right, so he trades off his bad pawn, but now this is a pass pawn here. And he blunders. Wow. Right into the fork. And this game is over, guys. This game is over. Okay, so Wolf 2008 now has taken the lead. Oh, Shooty jumps in front of him. Wolf 2008 had a guess he had a 2 the last time. I don't know how he got the 2. He's playing CPR chess now. Shooty jumps in front with the berserk on DDoS. He's adding up these points against these lower players here. He's avoided to this point any of the higher players. And let's see. Let's go to the top game here. Wolf 2008 versus CPR chess. And I'm looking at material looks even. Black is trying to put pressure on this king, but I'm going to favor white here because this terrible bishop on c8. Also, I would really love to put a knight here if I'm white on e3. The best blockader of a passed pawn is a knight because it not only defends and blocks the passed pawn, but it attacks the neighboring squares as well. It looks like he's aiming to go to c5. I don't think c5 is going to get him anywhere. Actually, and I think black should go b6 and bishop a6 and get the bishop outside the pawn chain, and that's what I think is going to happen. He goes back, and now the bishop is free, and now black has a really, really good game. They're pretty even on the clock. CPR chess has a lot to think about here. Maybe he has to play a move like rook to g1. So he can go knight to f1 and knight to e3. Then he plays g3. You might see a rook f6, rook lift here with rook f6, and then a rook to g6. Oh no, okay. Now he's threatening a tactic here. It is going to be knight g4. King has to go to g2 unless you want to lose the h3 pawn, and then knight e3 wins the queen. And I think he fell for it. It happened. Now, I will say this. After king to... Nope, because if you play king to g1, there's this queen takes h3, threatening queen to h2 check. Mate. And CPR chess missed this shot. And this is going to hurt. Their career record against each other is 2.5 Wolf 2008 to 1.5 CPR chess. So they're not that far off, but here he resigns that game. Wolf wins that game there. I don't believe it was a berserk. And Wolf 2008 is in the lead once more, and he's on fire with his third in a row. Welcome everybody who's watching the live stream. Make sure you subscribe and share this video if you can. Super Samrat and Wolf are tied at 23. The #1 game now is the game between Super Samrat and WJH 3122. Number 2 versus number 13. I'm going to tell you in this position, the best move here was actually to take here and play b4 and b5. So literally we would take, he takes b4 and b5, and we're going to have so much pressure, probably even win this pawn on a6 because of the pin. Right, so he missed that idea, a common idea in the London system. And that was a pretty good move there because he's going to have to take with the king in order to protect the bishop on d6. But the queens are off the board, so I don't think it hurts black as much as Super Samrat might think. WJH has more time, so this must be a berserk game, I'm pretty sure. And we'll come back to this game here because this is going to last for a minute. See if there is any other top rated games here. We haven't seen any games from Shooty because Shooty hasn't played any of the top players. He just lost his last game, and that was to SME8. Maybe that was a berserk game, but he loses this game here and breaks his streak. And Now he's playing Wolf 2008 here. Oh, wow. And this was a pretty good sacrifice. Not only is this a sacrifice, but I think you might get your queen trapped after a3. Yeah, I think so. Actually, you got it right. Well, can't do it now. So I would say to b rook to b1, queen takes a2. You can't let him take a2, so you got to play a3 here. And the queen has nowhere to go. And also, this king is just in the center. Does he ready to open this position up with c4 as well? You can take and then take here. So here he's trying to trap the queen this way, but a6 could be played. So you win a rook here. Actually, you can go a takes b5, and then queen takes a8. And still looks like the queen is trapped. So this looks very bad for Shooty 7212. Oh, he does get c3, so gotta watch it here. Shooty is wiggling out a little bit. I don't know about that move. So he takes. Oh man, I'm thinking that maybe you can even go rook b7 here. Check. You might be able to do that, and he does. He sacrifices that rook there because this looks like checkmate. And the career record between Shooty 7212 and Wolf 2008 is Wolf 7, Shooty 2. And that was a terrific game there by Wolf 2008 there. Okay. Super Samrat is still in the lead. He's had 4 berserks in a row. So 4 5s in a row here. And he's on a streak. Resident Donkey is not in the leaders right now. Usually he's always on the first page, not on the first page. Let's shout out the first page again, actually. Super Samrad, Wolf 2008, Shooty 7212's SME8N, CPR Chess, Page Orange, Scott Lightyear, Gogo Stello, Didas, Little Almond. Gogo Stello is leading in the under 1200. Yeah, I think all the ratings have went back to what it should be, I believe. I think so. Yeah, it looks like everything has went back to normal. Under 1600 leader is SME8, who is 1477, but he is 4th place here. And he's on fire. He won 5 in a row. He's beaten Top Madhouse, Gogo Stello, Page Orange, Shooty 7212 he's beaten. And then Gogo Stello again. And now he's playing New Festive Chaos. Oh man, this is probably the best performance SME8N, Siddharth Menon from Waddles. Best performance he's done. I've seen him with since we've been doing this. Wolf 2008 versus Super Samurai. Now, this is a really good matchup here. I believe there was a lot of draws here, but Wolf 2008 has a 10-4 lead over Super Samurai. I'm surprised about that lead over such a strong player. Super Samurai here is black. Okay, so he does play queen to a4. Now his threat is to go knight e5. I'm gonna say I don't know if I would even protect this here, actually. I think I would probably castle and let him take twice and then go queen takes d4 if I had to. So even though these pawns are very bad, you know, they can gain you more space for one. So he goes queen takes c4. He didn't want to allow queen takes d4. Now, I guess the purpose of this is after queen takes c6. Yes, he wanted to go knight b4, but he has to watch queen takes a8, which wins for white. So he takes that. And then maybe bishop g6. Bishop g6 was better because you give your king h7 if you need it. Queen takes there. And here he wants to go to a endgame where he's going to be down a pawn and try to hold this game, which is possible. Possible he can hold it. I'm predicting maybe e5. Okay. He should play rook b8 because the threat is e5 and then bishop takes rook, and he misses it there. That is the tactic. Played a6 and he misses that tactic there, and he's gonna be down the exchange. But I will say this, Super Samurai shouldn't be that sad because this bishop leaving the fianchetto position leaves light squares weak. And anytime your opponent doesn't have a light square and you do, you're going to be fine. So I would definitely look to be playing queen b6, give him the rook, and work on those light squares. But here he just resigns here. Ah, that was too early to resign. Maybe he just wanted to keep playing games so he can get some berserks going. But that was a battle between 1 and 2, and he's going to drop behind in the standings. Oh, man. I don't think he was as bad as he thought he was in that game. All right, so Wolf 2008 has 31 points. He's still on fire. So it's gonna be a hard for Super Samurai to catch him again. And Wolf 2008 is berserking SME8, who's now in third place after winning 6 in a row. And then you have Shooty 7212, who's lost 2 in a row, but he's fourth. CPR Chess, Scott Lightyear, Paige Orange, and Spark 101 are in the top 10 because they are playing the most games. Oh my goodness. They figured out a strategy. Gogo Stello is on the first page. And then Grizzly 2011. Wow, there's a lot of people on the first page that they're really not used to being on the first page. Very interesting there. All right, let's go to this top game here. SME8 versus Wolf 2008. He is berserking here. I don't know what happened, but it looks like white is down a piece. How does that happen? He looks like he played pretty well. And he just put his knight on a square that's literally not protected. And loses this piece. And that's pretty much it. The only thing that white can hope for is that this bishop never comes to a better square. But this just looks losing, and it's going to be an easy game. It's all about if Wolf can finish it quickly. So Wolf should go on and win that game there. Super Samrat he's got to win, so now he's tied. He's tied with Wolf because it's all about the time now. So as a Wolf plays SME8 and plays this game that's losing, SME8 is dripping time off of his clock, and that's time that he's going to need to play another game. So Super Samrat now is playing CPR chess, and this is not going to be a quick game. Super Samrat did do the berserk on CPR chess, and that's a risky decision because CPR chess is 1674, and that's against an 1881 player. So we see that he goes queen a4. It doesn't win the bishop because of knight c6. But now Super Samrat is headed. He's trying to attack the pin knight again, but after knight e7, shouldn't have a problem with the pin knight. You should castle. So he just trades that off. He goes knight e7. Makes sense. Maybe queen to b. Thought maybe better was queen to b3. This makes sense to try to open the position. Now, oh man. He actually allows knight e5, going for knight takes e3. I don't know if this is going to work. Because after knight takes c3, you have queen b3. That looks bad. Okay, CPR chess, he has 4 minutes. He has time to look at this. But this is going to get really tricky. And white could be the one that's going to fall behind in development with his king 2 moves away from castling. Queen b3. Gonna be interesting here. I think he should just go ahead and play knight takes e5 and then bring the knight back to d5. Allow queen takes b7 and then this castle. And try to use this developmentally. White is going to have to will have to move his queen again with his king in the center, and I will favor black at that point. I think it's black's game after queen takes b7 castle. Or maybe even knight e4 might even be better. Yeah, I think knight e4 is even better because you have control over these squares that you can use to attack. But instead he attacks the bishop. He goes bishop takes f6, and then he goes queen takes c3. But now after castle, man. Oh, he plays c7 to protect a pawn. See, that is so, guys. When you're up in development, look for reasons to give the pawn up. He should not have protected this pawn here. He should have just castled. Allow queen takes e7, and then you have rook takes here. And now you're gonna play e5. You're gonna open up this position. You're gonna have all these open files, and his king is still in the center. Be aggressive here. Open the position, even at the price of a pawn. So that was not the right decision for Charlie Reese there. But that being said, Charlie Reese is still okay. Everything is even. He has control over the F file. Maybe he wants to play queen f6 and triple on this F file. Looks like he's just perusing the position, maybe rook h5 and making his opponent move more pawns forward. And he also has 3 pawns over here, and there's only 1. So you got to watch out for the passed pawns from black as well. So it's going to be hard for Super Samrat to beat Charlie Reese in these games where he's playing so solid. It's going to be very hard. Now you have queen takes h3. And then there's a checkmate. and Charlie Reese wins that game, and that's going to hurt Super Samrat. Trying to berserk someone 1600 is hard. I know. SME8 is, let me see what happened here. He has won 1, 2, 3, 7 games straight. And his last game he won over Wolf 2008. How did he win that? It's hard, it's hard to berserk, no matter what their rating is. So this game was supposed to be a win for for Wolf. He's up a whole piece. He trades queens, knight c6. It's the time. Look, he has 48 seconds left. Everything looks good, but look at that time, 32 seconds left. He drops the knight. It's just what you do in time pressure. And everything looks to be okay. There's a pawn. So now we have 5 pawns versus 3, and this knight is going to be a very strong piece, especially if you can get it to the e4 square. Oh, and look at how he's playing here. And then he just grabs the rook with 4 seconds left. It is hard to berserk anyone over 1500. You got to think about berserking them because it's very hard to do that. And so that stops his streak, and he doesn't have the big lead that he could have had by continuing. He was on fire with 4 in a row. So Super Samrat, his last loss didn't really hurt him. They're tied at 31. SME8 is, man, SME8 might win the tournament here. If he keeps getting berserked, he might win the tournament here. Now, Shooty and Wolf 2008 are playing each other, and it doesn't look good for Wolf 2000. Oh, Shooty actually looks like he's down in exchange. King's in a bad position. But we got to look at Super Samrat play SME8, because is this another berserk game? I mean, yeah, it's another berserk game. Can SME8 use a strategy of getting berserked to win the tournament? He's saying to people, you berserk me at your own risk. And here it is even, 6 pawns, 7 pawns. So white does have extra pawn, but this is not the greatest extra pawn. He's gonna go back to f5, and now I see what's happening here. This is going to be something, because if he moves this knight, he goes, okay, so it makes sense. But the problem is, where is he going to move this knight after bishop h7 and rook h3? That knight is trapped, guys. Now, I know that he would have been in looked like he's been in some trouble, but there was no checkmate, by the way, if he would have just saved his knight. Not yet. But now the knight is gone. SME8. Oh, whoa. Oops, I'm sorry. He gets away with it. Look at SME8 in to Darth Menon. Get away with it. He is playing really, really well. I do see a knight f6 check that's coming, so you don't want to allow that. Might not have any choice. You got to get this bishop out off the c8. You have to get this bishop out somehow. But you don't want to do it now, because knight f6 will fork the king and the bishop. So he can go bishop d7 now and then bishop c6. He definitely should go here. He's choosing to go b5 here. Oh, and then there's some checks coming, and these checks look like, okay, so he's gonna go and hide here with the king. Okay. Ah, he doesn't check him right away. But I don't know if this is checkmate here. Wow. So he gives up the bishop here. And look at the time again now. SME8 is milking this time. Look at the record is 11-2, and he gives up the rook there. Why take that pawn? That was just not a smart thing to do. Oh, but still, Super Samurai is still low in time. Uh-oh. Still low in time, but Super Samurai should easily win this game now with just a staircase. So Super Samurai would go on to win that game, and the streak of getting berserked and winning for SME8N is finally over. Wow, what a performance. No one can berserk SME8N. Siddharth, good job. Siddharth is now, he's still third place, and he's looking to start another streak. First page shout out again is Super Samurai. He actually wins that game, and he takes a 3-point lead. Wolf 2008, SME8N surprisingly in third place. Shooty 7212, CPR Chess, D-09. Resident Donkey has entered the top 10, but he is so far behind the leaders with only 7 minutes left. Can't catch him. Takes the pace, Grizzly 2011, and Spark 101. Now, since it's only 6 minutes left, these games mean a lot. So Wolf 2008 has to beat Shooty in order to tie Super Samurai. CPR Chess and Resident Donkey. CPR Chess has a chance to maybe go into 4th place by beating Resident Donkey. D-Daz and Taste to Pace. Taste to Pace is searching for a big jump, maybe going towards 5th place or 6th place there. If he can win that, D-Daz wants to jump as well. WJH and Koopies for Arrow, they are on the 2nd page today. And Super Samurai, he was gifted with a game against Page Orange. And I know he's going to, and he did. He won the game quickly. Oh, actually, no, they're just starting this game. Or wait a minute, maybe he won the game. Not sure. Yeah, he's won the game against Page Orange. He pulls away with 4 points. So Wolf 2008, who is facing Shooty, I mean, if it's a berserk game, it has to be in order for him to catch, but looks like that game is over anyway. So Wolf has to figure out has to get a game where he gets a berserk, and he has to do it in time. But he's waiting on a game, and he hasn't had a game yet. So he finally gets one against Super Samurai. Now, they're playing this game, and Super Samurai, in order to win the tournament, all he has to do is just take time. He literally, so basically, he wins this tournament. All he has to do is just last for 5 minutes. And he's going to be today's champion. All right, guys, make sure that you guys check out the standings on MichiganJuniorChessArena.com. Check out those standings there for the Team Arena League. Also, there will be an interview featuring Wolf 2008. Maybe he will be the MVP of the league. Who knows? Let's talk to him. Or I did an interview and I talked to him, and you guys can see that interview soon on Michigan Chess or MichiganJuniorChessArena.com. That interview will be there. We will have our tournament games this week, Friday and Sunday. This is day 3, day 4. And then there's one more day after that. That's day 5. And then on day 6 is playoff time. There will be 2 teams from each division that will make the playoffs. And the winner of those 2 teams are division champs. And then the winner of that will face each other, where the white and black division face each other for the first time. That will be happening as well. And that will be our championship. Prizes are going to the 2 champions of, it's going to be champions for Blitz, and it's going to be champions for Classical. So I don't think that this game is even can't even matter here. Wolf 2000, I mean, Super Samurai should win it unless SME8 gets some type of quick victory. He's playing Spark 101 now. Who knows? Spark 101 could he could beat Spark 101 and get a quick victory and catch Wolf 2008. But he only has 3 minutes to do it. Maybe C6 here and then Queen F6. What's Knight F6 here? Bishop H3, I mean Bishop H5, keeping the pin would be the move. There he goes. And G4, Bishop G6. So SME8 is up a piece, and then he just gives up another piece. Queen takes F3. And this is looking like he could win this game in 2 minutes. Under the 2 minutes there. And I think he would catch. For second place, I think he would catch Wolf. This would give him, well, no, this would give him 2 points. He had to berserk, I think, in order to catch Wolf. Let me see here. Yeah, he only gets 2. So that he needed 3. So he needed a berserk to catch Wolf 2008. CPR Chess can actually catch him if he's not careful. CPR Chess is playing WJH 3122. That's going to be a hard thing to do. You need a berserk for that as well. So I'm not betting on that. But SME8 playing Spark 101. Okay. So look like Spark 101 gives up. Hey, it's possible that SME8 could play another game. Can he play another game here? Can he get a game? Still not, he doesn't have a game and there's only 39 seconds left. So no, he cannot catch, but him being, SME8 being in 3rd place, of course he played a lot of games, but they berserked him and he was able to cut the time down and play more games. So this is gonna be, I think this is gonna be it. So we can look at the Super Samrat versus Wolf 2008 game. Looks like Wolf 2008 is, oh, looks like he's losing this game here. I don't know what he was trying to do. It really didn't make sense for Super Samrat to play that. He could have just traded here. I don't understand what the threat was. Oh, the knight is attacking. But by him going Queen G6, that was a big mistake. Queen F7, I could see. So he blunders there. He has to go rook takes. And then there's going to be a check. Oh, so he goes check here. I guess that makes some sense. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense there. So knight check. He saved himself on that one. So here he at least gets to keep the game even. Or at least, or black actually is down a pawn. Oh, and this is going to be a hard deal because if the knight moves away, then there's a knight fork coming. Oof. Like Wolf is winning this game here. And then here comes the fork. And this just looks bad. It looks like Wolf is going to win this game. But we have our leaders here. No matter what happens in this game, the tournament is set. There is Super Samrat is in first place. He played 14 games, performed at 1614 performance rating, won 71% of his games, and his berserk rate was 79%. He berserked a lot. Second was 1847% performance rating by Wolf 2008. Played 12 games, won 83% of his games. And in third, the surprising performance of SME8 in third place, performed at a 1620, played 15 games, won 73% of his games. A wonderful performance from SME8 in. Now, the rest of the top 10. CPR chess is 4. Then Shooty 7212. Taste the Pace is the under 1600 champion. D-09. Scott Lightyear Spark 101 is the under 1200 champion. Resident Donkey is on the first page at 10. And that is your first page. Wow, what a daily tournament tonight. Make sure you guys check out everything that you need to know about Michigan Junior Chess Arena on MichiganJuniorChessArena.com, MichiganJuniorChessArena.com, right there below. Check it out. And for the Michigan Junior Arena, I am Coach Wilson. Implodian out.